I'm Ashley Kyle.
And I'm William Holtz, and this is your Lake of the Ozarks news update brought to you by Lake TV and LakeExpo.com and sponsored by Rick Ball Ford Lincoln in Sedalia.
Today we'll be talking about the Sheriff Department's new toy, what a housing study is revealing about the lake, why a state auditor is looking at a local court system, and more on the toxic soil and water situation in Camdenton.
But first, let's take a look at events going on this weekend that you won't want to miss. The Knights of Columbus is holding a fish fry fundraiser for Camdenton High School's Project Graduation. Project Graduation is an after-graduation event that provides a safe, drug, alcohol, and tobacco-free environment for graduating seniors, and it's free to the students. At the fish fry, you'll be able to dig in and enjoy some delicious fried pollock, mac and cheese, baked beans, and much more. That's all happening on Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus Hall on Highway 54 in Camdenton. The cost is $9 for adults and just $4 for children 10 and under, and you can get your tickets at the door.
Saturday, you can get some exercise and support the community at the Hope Ray Dunkley Memorial 5K. It's the third year the Morgan County Caring for Kids Coalition has held the event, which will include a competitive 5K run, a 2-mile casual walk, and a half-mile kids run. It all starts at 9 a.m. at the Versailles High School. The money raised will go directly to the annual Back to School Health Fair and Christmas for Kids project.
You know, there's nothing like a nice evening at your local winery, sipping on your favorite vintage with the view of spring in the Ozarks. What could be more magical? Well, how about a magician? At Casa de Loco Winery Magician Marshall J. will be performing on Saturday from 1:30 to 3 p.m. Come out and let him entertain you at your table, and if you can't make it this Saturday, he will also be performing 1 weekend a month through October. Although you wonder how good of a magician he really needs to be, I mean, when his audience might just be a little bit tipsy. Now, every kid knows what's coming up this weekend.
Of course, it's Easter, and that means Easter egg hunts are popping up all around the lake. We kick it off on Saturday with the second annual Osage Beach Easter egg hunt. That runs from 12 to 3 p.m. at the Osage Beach City Park. This is a pretty intense egg hunt. They've got 3 age divisions, you know, so the 12-year-old can't steal candy from babies. You'll also get to enjoy a hot dog lunch at noon, and the Easter Bunny himself will be there for photos. Plus, there will be face painting and a bounce house. Best part, it's all free.
Also on Saturday, Mother Nature's Riverfront Retreat is holding their giant Easter egg hunt in Max Creek. Gates open at 1:30 and the hunt begins at 3. They'll have face painting, free bouncy houses, a free petting zoo, games and prizes, and food, of course. So load up the family and head over to Mother Nature's Riverfront Retreat at the Tunnel Dam Garden Center.
Then there's even more happening on Sunday at 9 a.m. You can catch brunch at Captain Ron's. They're also hosting a church service on the beach at 10, followed by an Easter egg hunt at noon. The Easter Bunny will also be stopping by if you want to grab a photo with him.
Lake TV here, now joined by Alicia Machino, the board president for the Lake of the Ozarks FCA. Alicia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
We're excited to talk about the second annual Bridge and Dam Half Marathon and 10K. What an event this should be.
I hope it is. We're expecting it to be. Last year was our first year, and it turned out to be a phenomenal event. We had overwhelming positive feedback last year, so we're hoping to build on that this year.
Okay, so now when people hear the Bridge and Dam Half Marathon, where does this race start?
It starts on Bagnell Dam. They get to run the full width of Bagnell Dam.
And then where else does it go?
It goes up the strip and across the community bridge, which is beautiful, and then we take a jog down Spring Creek Road that goes alongside Portachima's golf course for a little bit, and we come back out and go back across the toll bridge again, which is again another beautiful sight, and we get to finish on the strip, which will be lots of fun.
Which is awesome. And for those of you that are thinking, man, 13.1 miles, that's too long for me, there is a 10K portion, which is 6.2 miles.
Correct.
And so that might be better for you. Now, if we want to sign up, what are the costs and where can we go register?
We've got our website, and it's Bridge and Dam Half Marathon and 10K.com. No, it's not. It's bridgeanddamhalfmarathon.com.
Okay.
And the cost for the half marathon is $75. The 10K is $65. And registration, online registration, will close next Wednesday at 5 p.m.
Okay, now you told us about the website, but easier for you guys maybe to sign up. Facebook, you can find that link directly on your guys' Facebook page. Where would we search to go like that event on Facebook?
Facebook is Bridge and Dam Half Marathon.
Awesome. Yeah. And Lake TV will be sharing that page on the Lake TV Facebook page. It'll be easier for you guys to find that. Go like their page. And cost is not that bad for a half marathon.
No.
Be part of an awesome organization. Where does this money go in the FCA?
Lake of the Ozarks FCA. All the money stays here at the lake.
Okay, so besides this event, go ahead and talk about some of the other things the FCA is doing here at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh my goodness. FCA is very busy. As far as our main focus is reaching campuses, coaches, the community, all through camps. We are hosting camps in June. Actually, most of June. We have several camps for students, Edge Camp, the Power Camp, and some of those are free. Some of those have an expense depending on if we've gotten a sponsor to pay for it or not. They're usually week long, and just all throughout the school year, actually basically just taking July kind of off. Kathy Wiesen, who's our area representative, just is all over the place, just ministering to people, coaches and students, and just she is a breath of fresh air and just bringing life to everybody she talks to, really. So
that is so awesome. And for those of you that don't know, FCA stands for Fellowship of Christian Athletes, correct?
Yes.
And you guys have a general website, which is?
midmofca.org.
So midmofca.org. Go check that out. You can find more information about those summer camps coming in June. Get your kids in those camps. A great way to learn about the sports they're participating in and learn from people that'll mentor them the correct way. Alicia, thank you so much. Can't wait to go cover that half marathon and 10K. I won't be running in it. Are you going to be running in it?
No, I will be making sure everything goes well.
She'll be making sure everything's going to go well. Lake TV is going to be there to shoot footage, video, interviews, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you join us. Alicia, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's just some of what's happening at the lake this weekend. You can go to lakeexpo.com for a complete list of events. Coming up, we'll learn about Lake Expo's interview with the DNR and what they have to say about the contaminated soil and water here in Camdenton. That and much more after a word from Rick Ball, Ford Lincoln in Sedalia.
Thank you.
From all of us at Rick Ball Ford Sedalia.
Our new dealership is the talk of the region. With state-of-the-art service, fantastic inventory,
And the Rick Ball way of doing business.
people are talking.
About Rick Ball Ford Sedalia.
What's been happening at the lake? Well, here's a look at some of the most popular stories from last week. The Camden County Sheriff's Department now has eyes from the skies thanks to the donation of a drone. The Camdenton Lions Club made the donation to help with missing person searches, crowd control, and documenting crime scenes. Now, the drone is a DG-1 Phantom 3 Advanced with GPS, and it has a camera which records video or still shots. It can fly for more than 20 minutes on one battery and can range for more than a mile. After finalizing its registration with the FAA, the Sheriff's Department will get some training, and they hope to have it buzzing around the lake by this summer. Sheriff Dwight Franklin is grateful and says the donation helps keep the department progressive.
Experts say the lake area needs more affordable housing for folks who live here full-time or work seasonally. Amy Haas of RDG Planning and Design is doing a housing study for the Lake of the Ozarks Regional Economic and Development Council. Now, for many of us who work around the lake, putting miles on the car is just a way of life. People tend to live where housing is affordable and just tolerate the longer drive to their jobs.
This happens a lot at the lake. Experts say local communities have very few mid-range homes that are affordable for working professionals. Those homes would run in the ranges of $200,000 to $300,000, and that pool gets even smaller when you look for houses on good roads in close proximity to good schools and services with high-speed internet. Now, some employers have even reported that potential employees have declined jobs because in the area because rentals and affordable housing are hard to find.
Exactly, and this could be a big problem for the lake, especially for a place like Lake Regional Health System. Medical interns have trouble finding rentals here, especially during the busy season when landlords want short-term rentals that pay better than long-term rentals. As a result, Lake Regional may follow the example of other medical centers and actually offer efficiency apartments on site to attract and keep interns. It's an interesting challenge for the lake, and we'll see how local development responds to that need.
We've got more information about the trichloroethylene or TCE contamination from a now closed manufacturing plant in Camdenton. LakeExpo.com contacted the DNR's Director of Communications, Tom Bastian, for more information. Now, Ashley, tell us more. What were some of the things that we learned from that interview?
Well, first off, many people were concerned that the lake could become contaminated from the polluted water being discharged at Mulberry Well. Bastian says that's not going to happen. He said the affected water that ultimately makes its way to the Lake of the Ozarks is no longer contaminated because as it's pumped, it's exposed to air and the TCE dissipates.
Okay, so that's a relief, but what about all the polluted soil that was taken from the site in the 90s? Now, where'd that go?
Bastian says the dirt that was excavated was spread near the airport and on facility grounds near the maintenance shed. According to Bastian, since then, these areas have been tested and don't show any signs of TCE. We do know that the chemical dissipates when it's exposed to air, but that obviously doesn't happen when it's deep underground. Bastian also explained why we are just hearing about these concerns now rather than in 2011, when scientists found out about the new TCE hazards. Apparently, the DNR approved testing the building's indoor air quality in 2013, but Modine Manufacturing, the company that used TCE in that building, tried and failed 4 times to collect air samples. Apparently, officials had trouble getting into the building and getting the heating and cooling system operating. So what's happening now? Well, Modine has hired an engineering firm specializing in environmental investigation and cleanup to test and report the presence of TCE. However, the DNR will also be collecting independent samples to make sure the results are accurate.
If you're a teenage driver, you'll want to hear this one. If you don't already wear a seatbelt, make sure you start buckling up. Local police are stepping up seatbelt enforcement through the end of March. The efforts are part of a statewide youth seatbelt enforcement campaign brought to you by the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety. 80% of teens killed in traffic crashes are unbuckled. Under the graduated driver's license law, teens are required to wear their seatbelt, and it's a primary offense if they don't. So they can be pulled over simply for not wearing a seatbelt. In fact, anyone not wearing a seatbelt in Osage Beach can be stopped just for that, not wearing their seatbelt, because city law does allow that. Now, seatbelts are one of the most effective ways to reduce motor vehicle fatalities, according to the Roadway Safety Coalition. So everyone out there, be safe and buckle up.
Missouri State Auditor Nicole Galloway is auditing the Linn Creek Municipal Court. This is a routine interview by the auditor's office. They're looking for things like the court's credibility with the community and whether it's operating efficiently. One thing they'll be looking at closely will be traffic tickets. The Max Creek's law in Missouri, named for another little town on Highway 54, caps how much money a city can make from traffic tickets. They can get in big trouble if they go over that amount. Auditors will also take a look at financial transactions, accounting practices, and compliance with court rules and state law.
Incredibly, a man suffered just minor injuries after falling down a 40-foot cliff along the lake last weekend. According to the Sunrise Fire District, the man was walking his dog and it got away from him. As he chased the dog, he fell down the cliff and was unable to climb out. Firefighters climbed down the cliff and moved the man onto a water patrol rescue boat. He only had minor bruises and was not taken to the hospital. Fire Chief Riley says every year there are about 2 or 3 of these kinds of incidents here at the lake.
If you live on the west side of the lake, you'll be happy to know that Lake Regional Health System is adding an urgent care clinic in Laurie. The clinic will treat minor injuries and illnesses. They'll be open holidays and weekends starting on Saturday, April 9th through Sunday, September 25th. Weekend hours will be 8 to 6 on Saturdays and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Holiday hours will also be 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And did you know that you can reserve urgent care appointments online? Just go to www.lakeregional.com/urgent care. If you find yourself elsewhere around the lake, it's good to know that Lake Regional also has urgent care clinics in Osage Beach and Eldon.
The congregation at Camdenton United Methodist Church recently donated more than $1,000 to the Camdenton School District's Buddy Pack program. The church also donated various food items with the financial help. Buddy Packs are backpacks filled with kid-friendly, nutritious food that students can take home over the weekend. For many kids, breakfast and lunch at school are their only source of reliable nutrition. Buddy Packs go home with about 575 children each week in Camdenton, Max Creek, and Climax Springs schools.
And this is a great program, and they get the most they can out of every dollar. Donations are sent to the food bank for Central and Northeast Missouri. Then they pull the funds together from surrounding areas, which they give them greater purchasing power to provide the most food possible. With a donation of just $10, the food bank can get about 150 pounds of food. For more information about the Buddy Pack program or the food bank, go to www.sharefoodbringhope.org. Well, that's the lake in a nutshell. I'm Ashley Kyle, and this has been your Lake of the Ozarks News Update. Thanks for watching us on Como Connect Channel 90, and watch anytime on MyLakeTV.com.
That's right, and don't forget to connect with us on Facebook and Twitter at MyLakeTV, and you can check out our Instagram page at handle @my_TheLakeTV. For Ashley Kyle and the entire news team here from the Lake TV News Studio, I'm William Holtz. Stay classy, Lake of the Ozarks.